This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy!
Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, a.k.a.
Cat Bus Russ,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guests and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
Hello there.
Hey, Cat Bus Russ here. Thanks for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast. And this week is a Rewind Wednesday, and this will be my conversation with Ali Higgins in regards to Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, a fun feature which I kind of appreciated doing this one because I really only watched it in theaters, and then the Hot Topic craze kind of pushed me away a little bit. So it was a nice return and provides me a new respect for the feature, especially director Henry Selick. When it comes to Ali Higgins, we were a couple for the better part of 4 years, and she helped out with the podcast quite a bit with those trash feature reviews. And she's considering doing a live show with me at a convention. Speaking of live shows, I will be at Fan Expo New Orleans January 10th, and I'm still looking to get a guest on the show, guests perhaps. So if you're in the Gulf area, or you can catch a train like I am down to the Big Easy, I'd love to fry up some podcast gold with you. You can do that by sending an email to russthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com. Or you can follow me on my social medias at CatBusRuss on Threads, Instagram, and more importantly, Blue Sky. Also, if you just want to be on the guest on this show, and there will be some changes in 2025 making things a lot easier in terms of restrictions upon movies, just hit me up on my socials, rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps, 5 stars preferably, be as honest as you'd like in the review. Let me thank my Patreon subscribers. Those are Tim Bates, who was on the recent bonus episode about Night of the Demons, and The Scoop Staley, a former AAW wrestling interviewer circa 2006. For $3, you can help the podcast out. You'll get a sticker, you'll get that shout out. More importantly, you get the Queen Kitty, Ava, 3 tins of cat food. Hey, maybe I can work out a energy drink from that budget for my 50-hour work weeks. You can do that at patreon.com/IDigCrazyFlicks. So I guess my only other formality is to thank my late best friend, Stacia Marie Harden, for keeping me motivated, inspiring me, and, just keeping me out of trouble. And I hope Skimble Shanks, the one-eared angel, is doing the same for her. So thanks for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast, and enjoy this show.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
From Touchstone Pictures. 'Twas the night before Christmas, but in the land of Halloween, it was decided that this year something new would be seen.
Whoa.
Surprised, aren't you?
From Tim Burton, director of Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands, comes a motion picture experience unlike any other. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
And what did Santa bring you, honey?
Rated PG. Coming this month to a theater near you.
Welcome back to 90 for Chill, the podcast. This week, my guest is one of the frequent returners. Hasn't been so frequent of late, but that would be Ali of Ali's Accessory Shop on Etsy's Trash Feature Reviews, Allison Higgins. And with the spooky season upon us. I know she's not exactly an expert in horror, so we'll just go with they call it Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I think we can get to some debating. I know it was his story, and I think it was a book before that. But yeah, we'll go over the feature that's on Disney Plus, lumped together with Hocus Pocus. I don't know how exactly you feel about that one, Allie.
It's funny. It's definitely a classic Halloween movie.
Oh, no. It's just,
it's a classic.
it was just way too obnoxious. Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker right in the trailers. It just looks like, okay, so we're setting the template for what Freeform is going to be. I don't know. Maybe we should have more Christian programming on the former Family Channel, like the old days. Instead of just I don't know, obnoxious. I can't say the effects look good everybody was doing a talking cat around that in the 90s. I mean, it didn't look that much better than whatever was on Sabrina. So I don't know. So it's just like, I know the Poetic Critic, the big sis, that's the Poetic Critic on Letterboxd, is not a fan of Hocus Pocus either, and she's probably actually seen it. Me, I just can't get past the obnoxious nature of, like,
if you haven't seen Hocus Pocus, you can't judge. Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker, a good one.
No, you can't. It's like people who keep telling me, oh, you gotta at least get to the third movie in Harry Potter before you can judge it. And it's like, okay, no, I didn't dig the first movie. Why am I going to sit around another 5 hours so it gets good? You can't get me you can't get me in on the trailer. And no, it's like every moment of Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker that I've seen from that feature is just, oh god, awful. Never mind, no, I'm not even gonna go. I'm more than familiar with the Spell on You number.
Yeah,
no, that totally just pisses on the original. And I mean, I know he's kind of a persona non grata, but so many of my 90s heroes are now. Marilyn Manson had a great cover that was used in at least 3 or 4 early late 90s, early 2000s movies. So yeah, it's just like, okay, if I flip on and I see anything, it's like, oh gosh, this is absolute bollocks. I'm not gonna go and watch it from the beginning. I mean, Hocus Pocus is giving us, I think it's going to be on, if my older sister was correct, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the audio for that one that I skipped to dedicate an entire 10 minutes to talking about how you should kill dogs in movies.
I saw that one, yeah, or heard that one.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to bring up the I know that's pretty immediately after Cokie, but like, yeah, Alex's dog should have died. That would get her mind in the right place. Flashdance, which again, now that I keep talking about stuff that I had that conversation with my older sister, it's like, yeah, maybe I should have just released that. So still figuring out what to do with that. I think it's a little big for a bonus, but I'm sure I can cut out the dog talk in that one. But she was telling me that Hocus Pocus is going to be part of 31 Days of Halloween on Freeform, which I said
well, of course.
10.
You mean to tell me you don't think that's in the top 31 Halloween movies of all time?
If you really want to stop and look at movies you would relate to Halloween, like, I'm sorry, if Ernest Scared Stupid gets better, it feels like a better movie to me No, it shouldn't be on 10 times. That really just shows you how narrow the Disney Halloween archive is. I mean, you have like, why don't you just go and dedicate like those Disney cartoons I end up buying, like Mickey's Christmas Carol. Like, okay, I get my 30-minute movie, and then I get, half hour worth of snow related Disney cartoons. Like, you can't do that. You can't just show the Adventures of Ichabod Crane and then and throw Mickey Mouse doing some Halloween crap. That at least knock it down to 5 times. Like, I mean, when you look at what AMC, and I don't even know without cable right now, I mean, they had their 31 days of Halloween, and yeah, I know stuff got repeated, but Freeform being basically Disney Light, they're not going to show you Halloween.
So how does Freeform work?
No, Freeform's just a channel on cable. It was originally the Family Channel, which was primarily a means for the televangelists to have a bigger platform. And like the 700 Club is the big thing that was on Freeform on the Family Channel. And then they got purchased by Disney, and they called it ABC Family. And then they just probably bought a bigger stake, and now it's Freeform. So it's just basically not really any different than the Disney Channel, just a little more options, I guess, for them.
But what are they doing for the 31 days of Halloween?
Well, they're showing Hocus Pocus 10 times. Otherwise,
like, I think in a day, or
I don't know about in a day. I think 10 times during the 31 days. And then they'll probably show Halloween Town. All these things that I think you and I are too old for, just because
whatever.
Well, no, I say that as in somebody asked at work, another coworker, what's your favorite Halloween movie? Oh, I probably have to say Halloween Town. And it's like, no, it's not a movie to begin with. 90 for Chill is very, on the podcast I listen to called Screen Drafts, they have what they call the Mooch Rule, which was a rule designed basically whenever they do these drafts, you can't do made direct to video, or made for TV. It's based on a dog draft they were doing, best movies with dogs. And there was a movie that was thrown in there called Mooch Goes to Hollywood, which I think Vincent Price was in, if I've heard enough about this movie. But it was made directly to TV. So now they made a rule basically saying, nope, you can't pull that shit on that show anymore. Mm-hmm. Unless otherwise agreed upon between the two drafters. I know the Stuart Gordon draft, patron saint of this podcast, who did movies like Reanimator and Castle Freak's another classic. Castle Freak was made for direct to video for the for Charles Band's Full Moon Features. They're the guys who did all the Puppet Master movies, which you at the suggestion of your fiance bought me. So
yeah.
I mean, I tried to watch Critters. I was thinking about buying Critters today, and it's like, I think I need company for Little Monsters. Like it took me 30 years to get over Gremlins.
What do you mean get over?
Oh, I was scared. Like those things scared the hell out of me. Like, all I can say about, they just, okay, they can multiply. I was afraid of the dark as a kid, and it wasn't because of Gremlins, but that didn't help me once I finally watched a little bit. Okay, so they only come out at night. Stripe is absolutely terrifying. I mean, he's got a sense of humor, but you really gotta, you got to be, if you're I mean, I was scared poopless at 12. My parents wouldn't let me watch it at 4, obviously. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it scared me too, but Alien was worse for me.
Alien? Well, Alien is definitely. Are you talking the 1979, the original? I mean, there's
Yeah, because it was on HBO all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, that's an R-rated movie. Gremlins, and of course, Spielberg's other produced feature. He directed it as well. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which I don't know if I can ever rewatch again. Like, you open with a musical number, a Chinese version of Anything Goes, sung by Steven Spielberg's wife. It's just such utter. But those two movies, with the entire heart ripping out sequence in Temple of Doom, and decapitating gremlins and such, those were the reasons why there was a PG-13 rating developed that year. So so needless to say, I shouldn't have been watching it. I shouldn't have seen it at 4. My parents should never let me get the Hardee's. That was a promotion they had with Hardee's. They had little records and storybooks for Gremlins.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I saw some on eBay just looking around, or one of my sellers suggested it, but I digress. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not into the sanitation of Halloween. Like, oh yeah, there's the horror movies for people, but let's make sure the kids get to share the monsters. And no, no, you don't get to go. And like, even Monster Squad, they had some intense scenes in that one. Like, no, you don't get to spay the monsters. Zombies should not be a musical unless it's Anna versus the Apocalypse, which is a British Christmas musical about a zombie apocalypse. And I mean, I've seen Song of the Dead, which it could have been a lot better, but so yeah, you want singing zombies, there should be some viscera displayed regardless. Like, do they even have I haven't watched, I'm only maybe a quarter of the way through the 5th season of Walking Dead. I don't even think they have a Halloween do they even have holiday episodes? Like,
I have not seen one.
Yeah, that's like, no. And it makes me wonder how real holidays are, especially when you watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, this is a pretty much I would say a pro-science and perhaps atheist feature. Like,
in a way, I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, even Jack Skellington's relying on science at one point.
That's true.
Figure out
he's trying to figure out what Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out what Chris is, and he studies the scientific method.
Right.
At one point.
Yes, and he's putting mistletoe under a magnifying glass. He's reading all this.
Go ahead.
You're reading all the stories about Sandy Claus, which I'm surprised if he really paid attention to those books, he would have figured out, oh, it's not Sandy Claus. But I mean, he just, like, this movie states that holidays are just fictional just separate worlds that invade for 24 hours. Like, I mean, I don't know how you have, like, Christmas, I get, and I guess you can say Easter, it's all pagan stuff, really. Easter being a fertility festival, Christmas being a pagan Well, I don't know it, because they say when they were pretty much setting the ground rules for Christianity that no, Easter should have happened at Christmas, and Christmas should have happened. Basically, you're not going to get knocked up in the middle of winter. Oh no, you're not going to want to give birth during the middle of winter.
Well, it's not like she knew. It's not like she had a plan. It was God's plan.
Okay, all right. So there was a plan, though. Like, I mean, is he a freaking sadist? I mean, you know what? I got to throw a little Job in here. Really make her work for this. You know, what the Greeks would just say is rape with Zeus and all the stuff he did.
Zeus is not in the Bible, is he?
No, Zeus is not in the Bible. I
didn't think so.
No, I'm saying, yeah, but the first gods were at least in the Western world, were probably the Western world were probably the Greek gods and the Romans.
Yeah.
And I mean, those gods make a lot more sense. Like, they really came up with gods who were based to explain something. That's why there's so many of them, and humanize them all. While the God is supposed to be the man in charge and is totally unrelatable. I mean, the closest thing we got was Jesus, and then it's like, oh, sheesh. I mean, it's really need to show you did I ever show you Chasing Amy?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, there was the entire scene where he's describing how Brody was Banky was called a C-word rag by a nun because he was calling bullshit on the entire Father, Son, and Holy Spirit being one thing. So and people didn't really relate to Jesus, or he wouldn't have been crucified if they did. So but I digress about that. So it's rewatching it, I really almost think it's more of a Danny Elfman's movie, in all honesty.
He did compose score.
Yeah. Well, it's a musical. Like, do we ever really care about who directed Pink Floyd's The Wall? It's Alan Parker, but I didn't. My older sister keeps track of that stuff. No, it's Pink Floyd's The Wall. We're here for the music. I mean, you gotta go totally out there, and when your composer is totally out there to begin with, I mean, the first real Oingo Boingo song that really caught my attention. I mean, I know they did the theme to Weird Science, and Oingo Boingo was Danny Elfman's band. Was a song they did for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 soundtrack.
Now, I missed that one in my research.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and I'm disappointed that it's just a few minutes too long. And I am considering to get guests on the podcast to, like, well, if there's no end credit sequence, then obviously it should qualify. But I haven't really got around it. What?
You've raised the minute season before.
I raised it to 99. I can't put it over 100. That's but it really, like, watching this, it's kind of like, okay, what are 80 gothic performers? And granted, Oingo Boingo was more weird than it was gothic or emo, or you know, I mean, music to slit your wrist too, I suppose is, yeah. So it kind of makes you wonder, well, could I get a Morrissey musical? And I don't know what that would turn out to be. I mean, or at least
I know that Danny Elfman does a lot of Tim Burton's movies.
Yes.
I know he did like at least 4 or 5 of them.
Well, he did. Let's go back to, I mean, there's the original Frankenweenie that Tim Burton did. But then his first real the movie that got people's attention was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Danny Elfman did the score to that. Then there was, and then the next one was Beetlejuice. Danny Elfman did the score to that. Then there's Batman. Danny Elfman did the score to that. Batman Returns. Edward Scissorhands. I would bet my left nut on that one.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually done all of Tim Burton's movies. Really need to get rid of one TV just so I can have a good computer station. So let me see. Well, he did the score to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Corpse Bride. Okay. Danny Elfman's soundtrack. That's a little too extreme because that'll bring up all his individual songs. Composer. All right. Oh, The Forbidden Zone. That was actually Oingo Boingo's movie. So Pee-wee Big Adventure. Beetlejuice. Oh, he's kind enough to do the score to Big Top Pee-wee. Hot to Trot. Scrooge. Batman. Dick Tracy, Darkman, Edward Scissorhands. So far, all of Burton's. Okay. So Mars Attacks. So I think, yeah. Sleepy Hollow, another Burton. Planet of the Apes remake. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Corpse Bride. So he didn't do Ed Wood, I can say that. But that's I think probably the biggest passion project of Tim Burton's. Ed Wood is lovingly regarded as the worst director, producer, actor of all time. I haven't watched Ed Wood. I have it I purchased it on iTunes, but it's basically Johnny Depp as that director. And this director loved to wear women's clothing too. So, Ed Wood, yeah. I mean, there's so much reason I gotta watch Ed Wood. I mean, it's got Bill Murray as a transvestite. It's got George the Animal Steel. That's a little old for you wrestling wise, but probably one of the best names out of Detroit. When he got the WWE, well, when Vince McMahon Jr. bought it from Vince McMahon Sr., he kept George the Animal Steel on the card, but he really went and made him live to the animal gimmick. So, and for kids loved it. So George Steele would dye his tongue green. He would lick stuff, and then he'd always eat a turnbuckle.
Okay.
Yeah, he would just go to a corner and just rip the turnbuckle off, just start rah, 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 rah. You see the cotton and stuff flying out of it.
What is a turnbuckle?
In a wrestling ring, the turnbuckles, I should say turnbuckle pad. So the rings are So what connects the ropes to the rings are the turnbuckles in the middle. So there's 12 turnbuckles, 4 for each rope.
Okay.
Yeah. So and like I'm sure you've seen it in wrestling matches, probably when somebody takes the pad off of the corner so they can slam somebody's head into the bolt that the pad's protecting. I don't know. You watched SmackDown. Did you watch SmackDown last night or?
It was on, but I was at class.
Okay. Well,
I just was in another room.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess they didn't really say anything about it, but last weekend's pay-per-view Extreme Rules, it was Demon Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. And when both guys are laid out after a spear through the barricade, Finn Balor's heartbeat to his music starts hitting, and he starts reacting to it, and eventually he goes like just invincible, puts Reigns through a table, throws him back into the ring, is about to do his double stomp, and then you hear a crack, and the top rope just falls with him on, and it's like, what the hell happened? Like you had something, like it was just so awful. Like you had something so cool. Like, no, it's ridiculous. Like, oh, the Finn Balor paints himself and makes him become an actual demon, and that's what they were selling. And then no, he can't survive a 4-foot drop off a turnbuckle. So yeah, it's really but back to, so we pretty much had defined that Danny Elfman has been alongside Tim Burton for damn near ever. I mean, yeah. I had a guy I want to do Batman. Well, Batman's a 2-hour movie. No, but if you want to get to Batman, like my episode about Caddyshack and Meatballs, which was basically just a way to talk about Ghostbusters, as long as we'll talk about Danny Elfman and Tim Burton, and then we'll get to Batman, or you can use Batman Mask of the Phantasms to use the Batman theme. It was an animated cartoon, early 90s, really good. So yeah, then so Danny, I'm just saying, it's like when you think West Side Story, you think Stephen Sondheim, you think or at least I think Stephen Sondheim and Leonard Bernstein. I don't think about who directed it, and I'm sure it's quite the accomplished director. I mean, hell, Spielberg's directing the remake this year.
Yep. December is when it comes out.
All right. No, not that one. Okay. So the original was Jerome Robbins. That's not really anybody I know of. What?
Yes, it is. Jerome Robbins is a very big name. We can argue about that.
Well, okay, I'm not a musical person. But again, okay, let's go to Evita, which was directed by Alan Parker. No, everybody talks about Andrew Lloyd Webber's and Tim Rice's score, I think it was.
Probably.
Yeah. So I really think so going through this, I'm really thinking it's more Danny Elfman's movie because it's totally dependent on his score and the songs. I'm sure there's a version of this movie. I haven't seen Corpse Bride, which was actually directed by Tim Burton. This again, this was only based on his story.
I read that it actually started as a poem.
Yes, that's what I'm.
He said that he was watching Halloween decorations being taken down and Christmas decorations being put up, and that inspired him to write the poem.
Okay.
For Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. Got my notes. Um, yeah, I was more worried about like, oh, next year's Halloween will be better than what Jack is planning on doing after he bollocks up Christmas. Um, and it's like, I mean, you guys, the mayor was wanting to plan it 365 days ahead. You've already lost 2 months. Is it really going to be that good? So, I mean, stay in your lane is what I don't know. That is something that kind of gets me about the feature is, okay, Jack Skellington's basically tired of being goth. I mean, he needs a
red suit.
Well, he definitely needs a change. He needs some inspiration, in all honesty. And so I just find it funny that this is such a goth people are like, this was kind of the perfect fusion of awkwardness in the 90s, basically. So I guess you could say it brought the goths and the theater kids together. But I mean, how goth really was it? Like, Nine Inch Nails is the downward spiral is just a year away. I mean, the entire Chicago scene of industrial music through Wax Trax. I mean, this was really kind of like, I mean, it gave, in a sense, I guess it's kind of like how people really appreciate Eeyore, in the sense that Eeyore is always sad, but that shows you that it's okay to be sad. And I guess A Nightmare Before Christmas shows you it's okay to be death obsessed. I wish I could say it was about death obsession, but no, it was basically, I think, more about, oh, we could be weird. I mean, we're being encouraged to be weird, and then there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. Maybe it was growing up with the fandom of it that kind of kept me away from the rewatching it. I mean, I saw it in the theaters, I listened to the soundtrack, but oh, well, I guess I'm just not I'm not really a holiday guy to begin with, as you know. And it's like, I don't like, is it really a holiday if you don't get a day off?
Yes, because you get to dress up at work.
Oh, really? Come on. The best costumes, you got to have your face covered in. Hey, thank the terrorists, can't do that anymore. I don't know. I just find that, especially going through my Facebook feed, October 1st. Well, hell, you see it as early as September. Okay, summer's over. Let's plan for Halloween. It's like, oh, I mean, I it's just something that's in your, I guess Halloween is in your face when it comes around. And I guess Nightmare Before Christmas fandom is like in your face all the time. Like, oh, I mean, the movie said it's okay to, celebrate Halloween after October 31st. It's just like, I guess it's something when you see a fandom develop, and from me being a nerd, obviously, it's like, oh, these guys, and me being old and righteous, obviously these kids aren't doing it right. So maybe that's why I kind of got almost a little burnt out without actually having that much, I mean, rewatching the movie. I guess. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Like why it's I mean, I was looking for stuff, honestly, to fault it. All I can really say, well, maybe the technology wasn't up for it. I don't think 4K does zero any favors. You kind of see the effect is not as strong. And so much of it takes place at night, but the skies are just black. So you don't really, it definitely feels very isolated. I mean, but, I really need to rewatch Coraline. I never really actually can say I've watched Coraline. I've probably seen every scene of it when I was taking care of Stephanie's kid Miette when I think she was 3 at the time, and that was just the movie she kept putting on. Yeah, so yeah, it's but Coraline is obviously Neil Gaiman and the director of Nightmare Before Christmas, Harry Selznick, I think it was. Yeah. Yep. Henry Selick. Henry Selick, yes. So, but you watch this movie and it's kind of like, also, like, I kind of wish Beetlejuice and Batman Returns had not have been shot and filmed before this, because you really don't need to see Beetlejuice or Batman Returns if you watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's really, I guess another thing I have about it is like, it's this prime Burton aesthetics all in one place. It's just the one stop to go, and it's like, maybe I want to go to those other features.
Yeah,
So,
you can definitely tell it's a Tim Burton movie.
well,
I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's so many things like the snake, like, oh, that's straight from Beetlejuice, and never mind the winter. I'm sorry.
The stripes.
Oh yeah, stripes. A lot of worms and stuff, snakes. But
a lot of non-traditional characters.
Yeah. But upon watching it this time, I finally realized it's not Lock, Stock, and Barrel. It's Lock, Shock, and Barrel. And I think Danny Elfman's Barrel, Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, is Lock, and Catherine O'Hara Kathleen O'Hara did double time on this one. No, Catherine O'Hara from The Second City, and I know she's probably going to be remembered more for Schitt's Creek now.
And the Christopher Guest movies that she did.
Oh, and of course Home Alone. I mean, she was the big early late 80s go-to actress, it seemed, because of Beetlejuice, of course. And then this is probably her most subtle performance, though, even in both roles, is Sally and Shock.
Yeah.
It's definitely not her, on edge about the, yell something. Like,
right.
Right. Like, yeah. Oh, what did we forget? I forgot the garage door. Kevin! And that's kind of what I think she got known for. And I've really only watched one of the Guest movies, and that was For Your Consideration, which is again, it's an improv movie about a how a little independent film is, I'm sure you're familiar with the term Oscar bait.
Actually, no.
All right. So you know how all the Oscar movies come out at the end of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oscar bait.
You're
Okay.
right. They're just there to like, oh, it's an important movie. It deserves recognition. So it's basically before the movie is even finished, Oscar buzz is going around it, the cast. And it starts out as a little play being adapted to a film called Home for Purim. And Purim is a Jewish holiday. And so as Catherine O'Hara is getting recognition, like, oh, this is going to be my break. And Parker Posey eventually is. And you got Hank Azaria as another cast member who's basically it's all everybody's getting so excited, and eventually like, all right, if we want to get the Oscar, we're gonna make this get those Oscar nominations, we got to make this more understandable by the public, so let's call it Home for Thanksgiving. So you got Michael McKean as one of the playwrights, and he's like, one point Christopher Guest is the director, and like No. Here, that's not what's in the script, Chief. You know what? Don't think about the script. So so you get a lot of the Catherine O'Hara hamming it up stuff, and I think I don't want to give away any spoilers on that one since you haven't seen it. It does give you Fred Willard though, wearing a really gelling up his hair like he's John Tesh, if you remember your Entertainment Tonight host and stuff.
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Fred Willard should not just have his hair up and gelled. I think he's probably best known for Fred Willard's probably best known for his line about in Best of Show. Can you imagine in some countries these animals are delicacies? He's also in WALL-E as the president who sends everybody off on the spaceship. Basic when a lot of stuff. Bit player, rest in peace. Yeah, I can't really say I kept track on what Christopher Guest is doing. I mean, it's weird when your parents are at retirement age. Like, you know what? They might just be knocking this shit off, man. They don't have to work. I think we should have had at least one more Mel Brooks movie between today and Dracula Dead and Loving It, which definitely is his weakest feature that I've seen, but it's got its moments. I don't know why you think Leslie Nielsen should be Dracula. That was the biggest problem with that feature.
Oh, come on.
Look, Leslie Nielsen has looked like an old man since 1980.
Vampires can be old.
I'm not saying they can't be, but I'm just saying when you're trying to draw parallels to a movie where Gary Oldman was the vampire. You're just like, oh, it's a slapstick laugh a minute comedy. Leslie Nielsen name that'll make bank. It's like, you know, it's like, no, Mel Brooks's name is what will sell the movie. Like, I love Carrie Ellis, and Carrie Ellis is a Robin Hood in tights is a good idea. But if you don't put Mel Brooks' name ahead of it, it's not going to draw me in. Like, maybe if they somehow, like, you know, Mel Brooks was just as prolific a producer as he is a director. Maybe Disney should have thrown some money his way just to put some executive producer credits on it. It's like when bloody Arachnophobia came out, and you could even say the Goonies and Gremlins. Steven Spielberg presents. It's like, okay, he read the script and he got the crew together, but that's about it. I mean, Goonies is directed by Richard Donner. Gremlins is a Chris Columbus script directed by Joe Dante. I didn't even look to see who actually got the script credit on The Nightmare Before Christmas. Story and characters, adaptation. No, they took the story and characters. Otherwise, Burton didn't write the script, or so this is kind of in the same vein. Yes, it does hit all the Burton points. It's a tribute to him, and I kind of think this might have been like acknowledgement of what's are things to come, because he has Ed Wood and then Mars Attacks. I do need to rewatch. Some people say, oh, it's gotten better, and I'm like, I think it was getting a little worn by the time how many times I'd seen it. But after that, and my older sister's very big on pointing out, he's just become a director for hire. Like
Tim Burton?
Yes.
Oh.
Like, well, I mean, I have not seen any of the Alice in Wonderland stuff, and I've been talking to my coworker who's obsessed with Alice in Wonderland. I'm not really a fan of Disney's Alice in Wonderland. There's some elements I love. I love the Cheshire Cat. I mean, as a guy who loves the Matrix and can't wait for, they might get my ass out to the theater to see Matrix Resurrections. I don't know. As long as it's going to be on HBO Max, it's like, I don't necessarily want to spend the $20. I know it helps, but still. So White Rabbit is something big in the Matrix. Down the rabbit hole, all that stuff. So I've picked up a bunch of the Funko Pops, the pot smoking caterpillar. I keep trying to figure out where I can put a 10-inch Cheshire Cat. I can't find the small version of it, but Walmart's got plenty of the large one. And I finally got Alice in Wonderland. Basically, there's some great elements, but I don't think it works as a movie. And I've never had any inspiration to go and see Tim Burton's 2 adaptations.
Yeah, I haven't seen them either.
And I mean, Helena Bonham Carter as the Red Queen, that sounds interesting. I mean, Stephen Fry is the Cheshire. There's a lot of stuff that's good, but it's just, again, this is like, do I really want to dedicate the 2 hours to?
It might be something to see.
It may.
He tells a story.
Well, I don't know about that. That's the problem. Like, since at least Sleepy Hollow, it doesn't feel like Tim Burton's making Tim Burton movies, I guess. Miss Peregrine,
School for Children.
Yeah, that was good, but I mean, it's an adaptation, so it's like, just doesn't feel like his, I guess.
Oh, so you think he needs to do something more original?
I don't know. I mean, the fact of the matter is he really hasn't. He's done Frankenweenie. I thought his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was good, in its own way. Like, but this is coming. Let me just go and preface that with this is a guy who liked Ghostbusters 2016. So I don't know if that really qualifies me or not. So it's but Planet of the Apes was just such a kick in the balls. And Sleepy Hollow, I mean, it had Christopher Walken as the headless horseman, but I mean, how much Christopher Walken are you going to get out of that performance? So it's just and it was a story that's been told, I guess. And I've heard good things about Big Fish. And Big Eyes is another one that seems interesting. That was with Amy Adams and Christoph Waltz, about a female based on a true story, a woman painter whose husband took all the credit. Yeah, but she was known for making paintings with huge eyes as her mark.
Sounds good.
As long as Christoph Waltz gets to be Christoph Waltz, it should be good.
Mm-hmm.
If you can recall who Christoph Waltz is.
I know who Christoph Waltz is.
Okay. I'm sorry?
In Alita.
What?
He was in Alita.
Oh, Alita. Okay. That's the film that comes up to you. He's won two he won 2 Oscars for doing Tarantino.
Bastard, right?
He won one for Inglourious Basterds, and he won one for Django Unchained. And a lot of people complain that, yeah, but he's only playing Christoph Waltz. He doesn't. You're looking for the. I think I want to say he's actually Czechoslovakian, or he's Austrian. He's not German, but. I just hope he's in the new James Bond movie, because he didn't get killed off in the last one, and definitely should do more with him. So let me go through my notes. Do you have anything that really stood out to you? I mean, I haven't really asked you what you really feel about the movie.
Oh, we haven't even talked about the Oogie Boogie Man.
Oh, you see, that was one of those, when I was researching that a little bit, it was kind of creepy that, oh, this is the guy who was the big-lipped alligator in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I mean, hell of a performer, Ken Page.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just
he was Old Deuteronomy in Cats.
Okay. I know he's
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm looking over his filmography right now.
Yeah, and he was in Eight Misbehaving on Broadway.
Right. I know he's in Dreamgirls.
His song really stood out.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's his go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cats, Old Deuteronomy. Hey, let's see. He was on the show. He did a voice for Duckman, if you remember that show.
No.
Okay, it was on USA. It was their first attempt at a edgy cartoon. Jason Alexander as Duckman, Private Dick / Family Man. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I remember now.
Mm-hmm. So obviously he's definitely more of a theater actor, though, because he's not that old. Younger than my mom, and but he's only really been at 30. He's only got 32 credits on IMDb. So definitely not as prolific as a bunch of for, you know, an Anglophile like me. Like, oh, Englishmen don't turn down work. Like, so Let's see. Address the fan base, the crappy Halloween that's gonna follow. Very atheistic. Well, when he was doing, the thing I wanted to talk about. When you cut open a teddy bear, is that a dissection or a vivisection? I mean, you want to believe the teddy bear is alive at some point, right? So, yeah, I don't really think I have. The only other thing I'd like to bring up is I'd like to suggest, to my listeners, not necessarily to you. I don't think you would dig it. It's a Japanese movie called Ichi the Killer. It's from the prolific director Takashi Miike, and there's a character in it. He's actually the lead of this movie I tried showing you, and somehow I found a DVD copy at a disc replay of The Last Man on Earth. The last life. I can't. I'd have to grab the box, but so the lead actor pretty much broke out internationally from his performance in Ichi the Killer, and these characters is a Yakuza enforcer and a super masochist. And his mentor at one point, now this is a soccer hooligan thing or a football hooligan thing. I don't know if you'd ever heard of a Glasgow grin, Chelsea smile, which is basically where you, basically one way of doing it is you put a credit card in somebody's mouth, have them bite down on a credit card. So basically just with his front teeth, so the credit card is standing out. You can see the edges. And then you punch the guy in the gut. And as he opens his mouth to get air, the credit card cuts right along the edges of his mouth. So you get a scarring on those two sides.
Yeah.
So, and I never noticed this before with Sally. She's got this from the ends of her mouth. She has sewn into her cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, and then there's a scene when she sneaks out by jumping out of her window. And that's like how in Ichi the Killer, the character dies and he's just laughing the entire fall. But he's got the same, but basically he's using safety pins to keep his mouth together. So just a weird twisted thing. I mean, as I say, I love Ichi the Killer. I know people say, oh, I can't wait for an American remake. And it's like, you can't have an American remake where the title comes out, rises out of our lead character's cum. It's a real, it's such a just over the top violent movie. Let me see. Just trying to find that actor's name. Last Life in the Universe. The actor's name is Tadanobu Asano. And they do some great stuff with the fact that his mouth can kind of be extended. At one point, somebody tries punching him in the face, and he's took all his clips out, his safety pins out. So he basically opens up and lets the punch go right into his mouth. And then as the guy pulls his hand out, rips a lot of the flesh off. So if somebody would like, I know it's not really a horror movie still, but if somebody would like to talk about Ichi the Killer, well, I don't. It is long, so too long for 90 for chill. But if you can find a 90-minute Takashi Miike movie, send an email to rustthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com. I'd love to chat about that one. And just to let you know, we can go and push this closer to Halloween, this episode drop. I have got a guest for another episode to record. So it's a horror movie called Stage Fright. That might be something up your alley. It's a Italian slasher movie. Feels a lot like a giallo movie. Giallo is an Italian crime murder genre. But it basically this play that's going to run out of money, a musical that's going to run out of money, based around a serial killer in an owl costume. Looks like they're going to be down on their luck. They're one of the lead actress skips out on rehearsal to get her ankle looked at, and at the hospital they go to, which they were just looking for a doctor to take a look at her ankles. They actually go to a mental hospital where somebody escapes, kills somebody, and then they like, well, no, we can just go and rewrite the script a little and make it about this guy, not knowing that he's in the he's hiding out in the theater, and they're locked the entire theater for the night. So, very creepy. As I say, it might be up your lane because of the theater element of it. But some of the violent, I mean, graphic violence. I wouldn't say scary, but yeah, if you're not into gore, it might not be your thing. But I've gone through my notes. So what do you have to offer? Stuff you want us to know? You said you did the research.
I did do some research. Well, my favorite quote was from Santa, because he goes, "Time to fix Christmas." Of course there is. I'm Santa. That was my favorite line in the whole show. Because that poor guy got pushed around a lot. And he didn't get scared at all.
Oh,
he was brave.
I don't know. I did not like him killing the last. My bugs, my bugs. You're Santa, man. This isn't Robot Chicken.
He gave them snow, though, after at the end. He said Merry Christmas and
Yeah.
Happy Halloween. They exchanged. He was very tasteful.
I don't know. I kind of, I don't know why the kids were all like, I don't know, maybe I've just become way too jaded. If I get a shrunken head in a basket, like, you know, I guess the problem with this is it could encourage Satanism. Like, I mean, I don't think there's that much ritual sacrifice in Satanism. I have not looked into it. Philosophically, they seem pretty like, I don't know, it's like basically, you know, all Satan did was ask why. That's why I'm not, you know, that's why it's kind of like not that cool with God, you know. It's like he just asked questions. It's kind of like we all love Crawley and Good Omens. And he's only a demon because he asked questions. Which really comes back to the fact that, you know, the next feature that, well, Henry Selick did direct some other features before Coraline. And I'm not one was the adaptation of James and the Giant Peach, which just doesn't work. It's not one of Roald Dahl's best stories, anyhow. I think is the general consensus. Really, that's about all there was between here and, well, he did the movie Monkey Bone, which deserves a rewatch, I'm gonna say. I think this probably had more to do with killing. The lack of success of this feature probably had more to do with the decline of Brendan Fraser than the sexual harassment. Nobody walks out of this movie well, like, at least not immediately. Bridget Fonda was in it. Chris Kattan, nothing's really happened with him. Hell of a cast. I'm looking at Monkey Bone right now. I didn't think it was absolutely horrible, but it's a very weird movie about Brendan Fraser is a cartoonist who ends up in a coma, and he's in a world where he's basically the only person he can really relate to is his character Monkey Bone that he created. And it's basically a big conspiracy from the characters to steal, like, oh, when they wake up, I'm the one who's actually overtake the body. So he he gets imprisoned with people like Stephen King. Like, I can't remember what character took over Stephen King that he wrote. Like, Edgar Allan Poe was replaced by the Raven and in this little comatose world. And then like, oh my God, that's scary. Oh, you're such a pussy, Stephen. So it's got a potential. I think I saw a copy of it, disc replay, but I mean, it's as I say, hell of a cast when you really look at it. Just I don't know. Chris Kattan is weird in it, but Chris Kattan's usually weird. But yeah, so that's basically. I'm surprised he got to that. So after 2 misses, because James and the Giant Peach, I think, is a definite miss, and Monkey Bone was a financial flop. You get to
but the only other point I wanted to make was that Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, the sequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas, is due out in July of 2022.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
We didn't really talk about, I know we talked about Danny Elfman, who did all the singing for Jack Skellington. As I say, he was the front man at the very least of Oingo Boingo. We didn't talk about Chris Sarandon.
True.
Yeah,
Princess Bride.
Yes, Princess Bride. Well, he's probably best remembered, I think, for Fright Night. The original Fright Night. I haven't seen it. My mom loved it. I know he's in the first Child's Play as well. And I know he's the reason why Susan Sarandon's last name is Sarandon. Which is kind of, I really wish he would have had more to say back at Wizard World. Because we saw that panel with him and Carrie Ellis talking about The Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like taking a look at his all filmography, actor, like, all right. There's game, lipstick, Sentinel. Yeah, I mean, he really didn't work that much. I mean, up to Princess Bride. And then Fright Night, and then he's kind of yeah, I can't really say. I mean, there's some good old Cinemax late night movies I think he was in, but no, Bordello of Blood's the last thing I remember him being in. So, but yeah, there's that. So I get, but I was going to look at the Pumpkin Queen Long Live. You sure that's a thing? Because I do not see it coming up on IMDb.
I'm not sure. It may be a book.
Oh, well, okay. This is an audio podcast. Starts talking about moving pictures. Like, you can't expect that out of me.
Sorry.
I mean, granted, if you want to, I love writing. So if you want to see what I have to offer, or even inquire about my Z budget zombie comedy based around independent professional wrestling, Main Event of the Dead, visit maineventofthedead.com. You can drop me an email, wrestlebus07@gmail.com, if you want to offer suggestions on how to get out of developmental hell. If they could make 3 ultimate deathmatch movies, there's no excuse. And yeah, so you can just do that with the email address, or you can follow me on Twitter at CatBusRuss. That's at CatBusRuss. And just as I say with my Twitter, that's where I want all the hate stuff to go to. If you don't hate the podcast, give it a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. Subscribe, help me with the algorithm there. Hate me on Twitter. So, Allie, all you got really going on right now, I guess, would be the show at the.
There's a show at Oakview Church.
Yeah.
For November.
Right. So that's out on Duncan and right between Duncan and Windsor. Kirby. It's on Duncan between Kirby and Windsor. I can attest to that. Hopefully you'll find the square. You have one of those probably still. If you can't find the Fire Stick, you'll have the square. The square is probably in there, but of course you have an iPhone now, so it's not going to work. But yeah, so Allie's Accessory Shop on Etsy. That's ALLYSACCESORIESSHOP. If you want to type that in on Etsy to find her, get yourself. You probably got plenty of scarves still.
Oh yeah.
Any toques?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just using the Canadian term for a stocking hat. Toque.
Of course. Yes, I have things crochet and some many jewelry items as well.
All right. So, okay. Well, as I say, we'll try to drop this a little closer to Christmas. So, if you want to watch Stage Fright, I mean, you're going to be picking up another Fire Stick at some point. I know that. Tubi actually has a Stage Fright on there. I mean, if you can get past the first murder, I think you'll be all right. Yeah, or you can borrow the DVD. That's another one I paid $10 for at Disc Replay. Like, that's the problem going to Disc Replay. Like, oh, buy 3, get 3. And it's like, yeah, no, the 3, I'm looking for the odd ones. Like, I keep thinking, maybe do I grab Damn Yankees? It's like, I think that's $15. I think they got one of Cocoon. That's $10. So my biggest problem is I will take the store credit when I can get it. Like, I was hustling for an extra $20 this week. Didn't expect when you're buying marijuana, you do buy by volume. So thank you, Skimble, for being being a resource. Like, how am I going to come up with $20 more? Oh, I got him cat food. He's fine. But
Or skimp.
he gets the what? It helps, believe me. So all right. So thanks for coming back to 90 for Chill, the podcast, Allie. Again, Allie's Accessory Shop on Etsy. Real problem right now is I can't really do trash feature review because I don't really have a lot of horror in the stack. I mean, if I want to get through the A to Z. Real challenge was finding an X. I did find one, though. A Japanese kaiju movie, actually. So if you once you get that Fire Stick, HBO Max, The X from Outer Space. So as for my audience, thanks for coming back. Thank you very much, Stacia Hardin, for being an inspiration and keeping me going, and everybody else who knew you. Thanks again, and have yourselves a good night.
Bye.
Can I hear a wahoo?